Hey everybody, my name is Jesse and welcome to my wrestling show, the place where we talk about all things wrestling. And today I want to talk about we we as sports fans, we love maybe cheering for the underdog to beat the Goliath, the David to beat the Goliath. We love to root against a dynasty maybe. We love rivalries. We love to cheer for the Cinderella story or the underdog. We love storylines. And so today I want to talk about 5 storylines that I'm really looking forward to see how they play out this wrestling season. Starting out with number 1 is Michael Beard. So Michael Beard, he wrestled for Penn State in 2021 and he All-Americaned. He placed 7th at the national tournament. Well, in the offseason, Max Dean transferred from Cornell into the Penn State wrestling room and ultimately beat out Max Dean for his starting position. After Max Dean won the national title, Michael Beard transferred to Lehigh University. Well, Lehigh and Penn State wrestle each other this year on December 4th. I'm interested to see how that match plays out. Now, there's no question that Max Dean was the better wrestler. He won the national title after all. However, that doesn't mean that Michael Beard didn't have days where he was getting the best or getting the better of Max Dean in the wrestling room. That doesn't mean Michael Beard wasn't getting takedowns. He wasn't keeping it competitive. So I'm interested to see on December 4th how how Michael Beard does against Max Dean if he can pull off the upset against the guy who took his starting spot and against his former team. I'm very interested to see how that plays out on December 4th. Number 2, this is what I call the Heavyweight Conundrum. So we have 3 guys at the top tier of heavyweight in Mason Parris from Michigan, Greg Kurtleviet from Penn State, and Tony Cassiope from Iowa. And they all like to beat each other. Kurtleviet really always consistently beats Mason Parris. He's beaten him 3 times in a row. Mason Parris beats Tony Cassiope every time they wrestle. And Tony Cassiope has always beaten Greg from Penn State every time they wrestle. So I'm interested to see who can rise to the top and break this triangle that these 3 wrestlers have going on and can declare themselves the top dog. My gut tells me it's either going to be Greg Kurtleviet from Penn State or Mason Parris from Michigan. Now, Mason Parris in 2021 was so very good, and he kind of digressed this past season. I think he was a little banged up and had some injuries, so if he can get those figured out and return to his 2021 form, he's going to be very difficult to beat. Question is, Greg has continued to improve year after year. If he can make the next step, he's going to be very difficult to beat. Tony Cassiope has transformed his body and continued to do so, and is also continuing to get better. My gut tells me it's going to be either Mason or Greg, but we got to wrestle the matches. I can't wait to find out. Number 3, Yanni Diakomahalis is going for his 4th national title. And if he goes undefeated this year and wins his 4th national title, he will only have 1 loss. His true freshman year, he'll have 1 loss for his entire college career. Cael Sanderson didn't lose a single college match, but the next closest person has at least 3 losses. Zane Relaford has 3 losses. Kyle Dake has 3 losses. Logan Stieber, I think, has 4 losses. And so where will Yanni end up in the grand scheme of things of where does he end up in the greatest college wrestler ranking list? The interesting part about this is in a normal year, someone who wins their 4th title, no questions asked, they're going to get to Hodge, go ahead and mail it in. But this isn't a normal year. There's someone called Spencer Lee that's also wrestling college, that's also going for his 4th title. He won the Hodge the previous 2 years. So will the committee, if Spencer Lee goes undefeated, will the committee give him his 3rd Hodge, or will they deny that to him and give it to Yanni Diakomahalis? So if Yanni doesn't get the Hodge, and for those who don't know, the Hodge is the Heisman Trophy of wrestling. So it's given to the best wrestler, the most dominant wrestler for the season. If Yanni doesn't win a Hodge in his college career, that's going to play a factor in where he ranks in the greatest college wrestlers of all time. You might say, oh, he should be number 2 because he only has 1 loss. But if you have never won a Hodge, meaning you were never the very, very most best dominant wrestler in the season, can you really be number 2? Can you really be above Dake? Can you really be above Zane, who's won 2 Hodges? Or Logan Stieber? So I'll be interested to see how that plays out this year, and if Yanni can get a Hodge and where people think he's going to end up from the all-time greats. Number 4, the guy we were just talking about, Spencer Lee. He is coming off 2 ACL surgeries. So how is he going to look? How is he going to recover from those 2 surgeries? Is he going to be able to return to form, or is he going to be a shell of himself? That's another storyline I'm looking forward to finding out this year. Now at Spencer Lee, at 70% with 1 ACL, he's good enough to win a national title. He's done it before. But this is 2 ACLs, and he doesn't have goals just to win national titles. He has goals to win world and Olympic gold medals. And while, yes, he could win a national title at 70%, I don't know that he can do that. I don't know that he can win a world championships and Olympic gold medals at 70%. So I'll be wanting to see if Spencer Lee can be the same dominant Spencer Lee that we've known over the past 2 and 3 years, and how we can see and determine if we're going to see him competing for world and Olympic gold medals in the future. And last, and this is probably my most favorite storyline that I'm interested in going into this season. As I said, we love rivalries, and we've had some great ones in college wrestling. The most recent ones that I'm thinking about, we had Zahid Valencia versus Mark Hall. It was a battle every single year, and everyone got excited to watch that match. We had Miles Martin versus Bo Nickel, where they wrestled 3 times a year, and it was always interesting to watch. One rivalry where I'm interested to see does it become a rivalry is David Carr is bumping up from 157 pounds to 165 pounds, where the reigning national champ Keegan O'Toole currently resides for his weight class. Now the interesting thing here is sometimes we do have 2 national champs in a weight, but these guys are in the same conference. They're in the Big 12. So we have the opportunity not to just see him wrestle once a year. We could potentially see David Carr and Keegan O'Toole wrestle 3 times every year, and they both have at least 2 years of eligibility left. David Carr has this year and next, and Keegan O'Toole actually has 3 more years of eligibility. And so we could see this match over the course of the next 2 years 5, 6, maybe 7 times. And if they're both high level, high quality wrestlers. And so I'm hoping this turns into a great rivalry where we can get excited to watch them compete again and again over the next 2 years. Everybody, let me know down in the comments what storylines that you're looking forward to. I know I didn't list them all. These are just some of the ones that I'm interested in and I'll be keeping an eye on. Let me know what your storylines are that you're going to be watching. Subscribe, like, let's build a community around the sport that we love. We'll see you next time.